Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the sesh. And on this edition of Max Mosley's Flying Circus, it's a big one, bud. It is the opener of F1's Human Rights Triple. That is the Qatar Grand Prix. I'm your host, Raveheart, here as always with my best friend, my co-host, my partner in crime, Taylor Surreal. Hey, bud, are you ready to shit talk some authoritarian governments?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So there's really not a whole lot of reason to get into the track because they've never raced there before. And we can tell you that it's 3.3 miles. It has 15 corners on it. And the race is going to be 57 laps. Yep.
I counted 13. I don't know what they're talking about. Some slivers on the road
Yeah.
or corners. Anyways.
We talked about the stewards in the last video. Clearly, the people who are looking at these tracks don't know how to count, or they don't know what a corner is.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Either way, let's get into some silly season housekeeping, and we must say goodbye to Italian Jesus, Antonio Giovinazzi, who isn't getting his Alfa Romeo F1 seat back next year. It's going to the Alpine Academy driver, Guan Yu Zhou.
Congratulations to him.
Yep. First Chinese driver in F1.
Ooh.
Hopefully Chairman Xi is proud.
Let's go.
Like, bro, if I were him, I would have tried to find a way to race under a different license. I want the CCP taking 40% of my fucking money. Fuck them.
No, I agree. Very interesting. Is all I have to say.
I don't know. I don't know what if the CCP actually takes that much money. I'll I met Yao Ming in an airport once. I'll see if I can add him on Facebook and he'll answer my question. Yeah. So Gio's out. What I think is weird. So you've got an open seat at Alfa, who is a Ferrari. They run a Ferrari power unit, but somehow they're hiring an Alpine Academy driver when there are multiple Ferrari Academy drivers with the super license points to enter F1. Does that I wonder if this is more a factor of, is it just because Zhou is bringing in 30 million euros or whatever. It's what everyone's been saying that, pay driver status. But then again, that's everybody at this point. So who knows? But it's is the relationship between Alfa and Ferrari cooling? Because if it's got Alfa Romeo down the side, but it's being powered by a French engine, I don't think the Italians are going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Who knows? But yeah, still also doesn't make sense that if you're going to pick an Alpine Academy driver, why not pick the guy that just won F2, Oscar Piastri? I think if Alpine had the ability to get Piastri in that Alfa seat, they would have done it. I don't know what he's doing next year other than being their reserve and test driver. But at the same time, it's they don't get that much time in the car. Kind of a random free practice every once in a while. It's not like he's going to be actually competing at any point, unless he's doing another series somewhere else at the same time. But yeah, it seems like an odd choice.
Very.
It's either the relationship between Alfa and Ferrari is cooling, or I think it's Frederick Vasseur, who's the guy who's the head of that team, was getting calls from Liberty Media basically being China has 1 billion people in it, right? That's a lot of F1 TV subscriptions. Think about it.
To say, some behind the curtains dealings went on. This was a strategic positioning, I think.
It on a certain level, it does make sense. But
billion people over there.
yeah, it's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this anymore. You know the whole remember the whole Tiger Mom thing? Like, what if he rolls in and
Yeah.
isn't successful? Is he gonna have an entire nation of tiger people coming after him? Like it's got to be a lot. Like being an F1 rookie is probably enough pressure on its own, but then add on top of that, you effectively have a billion people on your shoulders.
Watching.
Like that's Mr. Show. I wish you the best of luck, but yeah, you got to climb ahead of you, bud. That's really all I can say at this point. But all right, can't really ignore this subject any longer. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first race of the Human Rights Triple.
All right, stop that. Silly.
Let's move on to the other reason why we're all here. This week's absolute crapshoot of a Predictors Championship.
Oh, shit.
To recap, we have Surreal Grand Prix in the lead with 269 points.
Nice.
And then I'm leading up. I'm bringing up the rear with 254 points. I went first last week. Not making that mistake again.
Shit. All right. No sprint race.
Nope, no sprint race. So just straight up qualifying.
So on pole, I got Max Verstappen. P1. I've been thinking about this all day. I gotta go Max. However, all day I've been thinking I need to go Lewis. But I can't deviate. I gotta stay Max. This is so difficult. This might be the hardest one to pick of all. Oh yeah,
because it's a complete shot in the dark.
I'm gonna go Lewis P2. I'm gonna go Bottas P3. And I'm gonna go. I hate this one. This one's really tough. I'll slide my boy Lando Norris in P4. And let's go with Checo. P5. Fastest lap. I'm going Lewis Hamilton. God, that felt so slimy and greasy to say all of that. I don't.
Yeah, because
oh,
and the extra couple of like the extra minute there that I bought myself. It's not exactly like what I was thinking has coalesced into a straight. All right, so pole. Max. P1. Max. P2. The LHT 1000. P3. Lando Norris. P4.
You know he's watching.
Charles Leclerc. P5. Pierre Gasly. And fuck it. Fastest lap. The Flying Finn, Valtteri Bottas. To who it may concern, fuck off. Going with the porridge man. Gotta throw him a bone because I didn't put him in the top 5, but yeah, I'm like, neither one of us are confident about this one. I went on it based on like who I have noticed spends like the most time in the simulator. Because like I watched something where it's like Lewis fucking hates the simulator. He hates spending time in it. It's not a, not something he does often. I think because they don't know the track, that's going to be basically their only point of reference. That's going to tell them, like, that's going to give them any kind of indication of what's going on. And Lando's fucking partnered on Twitch from fucking sim racing and all that shit. I don't think Charles is that far behind in terms of like subs or whatever, but like they do a lot of this shit in their free time. So
we'll see on qualifying when they all get there after practice and bullshit like that and see how they adjust. We'll see who's on top. It's going to be interesting because we have no fucking clue about to happen.
And what sucks even worse is we got this 2 weeks in a row.
Well, maybe.
Assuming the Jeddah circuit is actually finished in time for the race. I'm not gonna lie, my fingers are thoroughly crossed that doesn't happen, and we have to see what kind of a clusterfuck it's gonna be when Saudi Arabia fails and can't host the race. What will F1 do? Personally, I'm hoping for sim rigs on the pit straight and, big jumbo screen. They, do it in the F1 game.
Lewis would be furious.
He'd be so mad.
So because of that, I'm all for it.
Well, we will see what happens. Yeah, much like I think the Max faithful, or not the Max faithful, I think the Lewis faithful are worried whether or not he's going to be able to close the gap. I am starting to get worried that as the season closes down, the massive lead I once had ain't there no more. I got to claw my way back.
But now it's more interesting.
Yeah, it's like the stakes are definitely higher.
There are 3 races left, which is plenty of time for anything to happen. Either one of us to go up by 60 points.
It's like, yeah, if by some miracle we clear the whole top 5, then yeah, like this could swing in one direction very hard, but I don't know why, but I highly doubt that that's going to happen.
We're at the time where there's plenty of time left, but there's literally like
none.
No time left. Yeah, so it's like now it's getting very interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's fourth quarter, 25 seconds left. You have the ball on your opponent's half of the field. You've got time, but not much.
Neither team is content. They're both worried and distraught.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But all right, before we head out, let's run down the weekend schedule. We've got FP1 and FP2 on Friday. I'm not going to give you the times because, let's be real, I will watch those on the replay. I am not getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever to watch those live. We've got qualifying on an FP3 on Saturday. See, like, according to what it says when you Google, Qatar Grand Prix, it says it's at 9 a.m. But somehow I feel like ESPN got that one wrong. So I'm not going to say that it's at 9 a.m. I'm going to say check your local listings because I don't fucking know. What I do know
it's ESPN.
is that on Sunday, the race is actually going to broadcast at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Eastern time. Okay.
Yeah, so you might just want to pull an all-nighter, just power through till 6 in the morning.
Fuck that.
Might be easier than having to get up. But yeah, we will see what happens this weekend. I have been Raveheart. He has been my co-host, Taylor Surreal. Stay safe out there, everybody. And we'll see you guys for the debrief next week. Until then, adios.